There are four major categories causing our CO2 problem: industry, electricity, transportation, and agriculture. Let me show you how capitalism is destroying the planet. All we need to do is take a walk through my house. This is my toilet seat. It's less than 5 years old and it's already broke because of this cheap plastic. I mean, it was a nice one. I bought a nicer one that, comes down slowly. So I spent a little extra money to get a nice toilet seat, and the thing is already broken and it's less than 5 years old. This is a plastic cover to my refrigerator. Again, it had a little plastic thing here that broke. This was 3 years old. And I tried to glue it and it didn't hold, so now I got to buy a new plastic piece for my refrigerator. This is my refrigerator that plastic thing went in. They could have made the hinges out of metal so the plastic doesn't break. Within 2 years, this thing started leaking water because of the trap in the back got plugged. So I had to call a technician out, and the technician said, well, they changed their trap design. The original trap design didn't ever have a problem, never leaked, and they went to this new one that constantly leaks. So I paid the guy to put the old trap system in. Thank you, Whirlpool, very much for building me a very expensive refrigerator that starts to leak water in 2 years. Yeah, I really needed that day. This is my paper shredder. I had another one before I bought this one. That paper shredder lasted, I'd say, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2, and I didn't use it all that much. But regardless, I think it was $50. Had to buy a new one for something I didn't even use that much. This one's going on maybe 2 years. It's doing a better job. But the point is, I should have never had to buy this one. The other one should have kept working. That's a lot of electricity, industry, and transportation to keep me in a paper shredder. This is my daughter's CD player. I've had to replace this every 2 years for the last 10 years. The CD jams, and it won't play a CD. The radio keep playing, but the CD player always jams. That is a waste of a lot of plastic. To make this, mold it, ship it, the industry, the transportation, electricity, and this thing ends up in a dump, that is why capitalism is destroying the planet. Right here. I've tried to buy a better one. I can't find one. They're all inexpensive and they just continually break down. That is a waste of money. I'm not big on surround sound, but I wanted my TV to sound nice. So I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I bought a Pioneer for $2.99, $3.99. It was rated as the best sounding sound bar for the money. Well, the problem is, 2.5 years later, it stopped working. So here it sits. Now, I could probably get it fixed for $100 and $150, but chances are it's going to break again. So what I'd have to do, what did I do? I bought another one. The new one's working pretty good, but it's only been 6 months, so we will see. But again, this is a waste of our time, our money, our industry, our transportation, our electricity. Instead of throwing things away, I tried to fix my plastic stuff with this epoxy from Loctite. It says 3,500 pounds per square inch of strength. Well, I've tried to fix my refrigerator with this, the little plastic hinge that should have been made out of metal so it never breaks. And I tried to fix my toilet seat cover. This stuff cost me this. Now, this was the better epoxy. It was the epoxy that is a chemical reaction. So I spent, $40 or something like that. I bought the nicer epoxy because I got tired of throwing plastic stuff away. I've been lied to. I have used this about 7 times on various products in the household. It hasn't held anything together. It's going back to the manufacturer. It's 100% garbage. It does not work. It was a rip-off of my money, and it's ripping everybody else off because that stuff is pure garbage. This is my garden hose, you know. I went and bought an expensive one because I'm tired of it leaking on my wife's pajamas as she waters the garden, you know. This is not leaking. It's leaking right here at this little joint right here. You know, I spent a lot of good money for this hose. It's a nice hose. It was the most expensive hose in the store. It's got a 5-year warranty. But am I going to spend the money to ship this back and get it fixed? Because that's the only way I can get it fixed. The store wouldn't take it back. They wanted me to ship it back to the manufacturer back east. So I'm going to waste transportation to get a stupid garden hose fixed? Nah, I think my wife is just going to have to enjoy her wet pajamas in the morning. This is my wheelbarrow. It's about 2.5 years old. I've used it maybe 7 times. I try to keep it in the shade so it doesn't get weather beaten. But the wood is so cheap and rickety, it's practically useless on a heavy load. Again, another waste of our productivity, a waste of our industry, a waste of our electricity, a waste of transportation. This is my rake. We bought it from Ace Hardware. We originally bought it, the head came off, my wife took it back, and it came off again. So basically, I'm going to screw it together with a screw so this stuff doesn't go to waste. Other than that, I'm going to have to throw it away. Again, it's a waste of our time, waste of our money, waste of our energy, waste of electricity, waste of industry, waste of transportation. This is one of my guitar amps. I've had to put this in the shop twice for a capacitor that keeps blowing out. But what's worse is to make this thing work and sound good, I had to replace the power supply and the output transformer because those from the factory sucked. This amp sounded horrible. So I had a friend build me a custom amp. This amp is built with old parts from the 70s, better resistors and better caps. This thing will not break. This is the biggest disappointment of them all. My daughter's wheelchair. It's custom-made seating. It's a custom wheelchair. These things cost from like $7,000 to $10,000. It's ridiculously overpriced, and it's cheaply made. The little bolts strip easily. They're not very good. It's like pot metal. These wheels, if you just bump them, you know, it should take a pretty good beating. But if you just bump them wrong, they twist and bend. I've already had to replace that wheel once, and on the wheelchair before this, I had to replace the same kind of design. The wheels don't hold up. You know, for $8,000, I can go out and buy a motocross bike that is a tank, that gets abused, that wrecks, that crashes, and holds together. We put my daughter in this, and all we do is wheel her around. I mean, we're not four-buying with this. We're not doing jumps. We're not going through these crazy berms and whoop-de-doos with this. It just rolls on the damn ground, and it can't hold together for longer than 5 years. For $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, this thing should be made out of titanium, and it should last 10, 15, 20 years. But it's a piece of junk. Somebody is making a killing on wheelchairs like this because they're not worth $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. Not even close. Now, I've tried to buy the better products because they last longer. They're supposed to be better built, you know. My toilet seat, you know, I bought a more expensive one because I thought it would chip less and last longer. I really didn't want to buy another one for a very long time. And I'm finding out that that really is not the case in a lot of products. It's just garbage. It's all garbage. Well, this is happening across America. If it's happening to me in my house, it's happening to everybody across America. We're all buying this shit that ends up in a landfill because we can't buy something that is made to last. It's a systems problem. It's built into how capitalism works. Capitalism needs a constant money flow, so the corporations build stuff that breaks, so you throw it away and then you buy a new one. It's planned obsolescence. Well, this planned obsolescence, Earth is not liking that program. I mean, our CO2 is spiking straight through the roof from our industry, from the electricity, from the transportation, and agriculture. And it's not good enough to recycle, because when you recycle something, that still involves transportation, electricity, and industry to recycle something. Yeah, it's better than throwing it away, but it's still costly to the environment. The problem is we're trying to build one of everything for everybody, and we're building stuff that doesn't last. That will burn through Earth real quick. In fact, it's tearing through our resources and causing our ecosystems a lot of harm. We must get to a resource-based economy. It's where we're not just building a bunch of crap. It's a science and technology based platform to where we actually build efficiency into Earth. We're not wasting her. We're sharing the products of what civilization can produce, and we just share them. It's not that big a deal. It's just a better lifestyle for everybody, for humans and Earth. Because we're not competing under capitalism. I mean, capitalism, they compete to build the cheapest crap they can because there's another corporation out there that's building the cheapest crap that they can. It's an insane system. It's not intelligent. It's barbaric. This is why we have a Lowe's and a Home Depot in every city. And in many cases, many in a city down the street, because we need a place to go to buy the crap when the crap breaks. Yeah, that's a good design of civilization. That's going to work long term.